Okay, well, good Monday evening, New York Jets fans and NFL fans. It is December 2nd, 2024, 4:50 p.m., and you are watching The Takeoff. My name is Alex, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving holiday and break. Students go back to school. The long weekend, everybody goes back to work today. And, of course, we had our NFL Sunday yesterday, where the Jets dropped to 3-9. Before I go any further, happy 41st birthday to our starting quarterback, number 8, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, he's on a team that's 3-9 right now. And my hair is a mess, and it's getting late and dark, so I'm going to try to get this in as quickly as possible. What can I say about yesterday? Another way that they lost. Another game that just they never completed. If you look at all the ways they lost this year and all the plays that they gave up, it really, and I've been following this team since 1982. There are just plays beyond plays beyond plays that I could bring up. Now, everybody bring up the butt fumble. Everybody bring up the fake spike. Yesterday, a very windy game. You have a Seattle team who's at the top of their division, who's probably going to get a third or a fourth seed, or a third seed. Okay, you have Geno Smith, another former Jet quarterback, and I'll get into that in a little bit, coming cross-country. So you have Seattle coming cross-country to the east, and I am a firm believer when you have a West Coast team coming cross-country for a 1 p.m. game, the home team has the advantage. And the Jets yesterday, in that bitter cold, I think the high was like close to 40, if it was that high. And as the game went on, it got colder, and the wind picked up a little bit. But the Jets actually had a 14-0 lead and a 21-6 lead. 14-0 and 21-6. Okay? Jets lost. They lost. Okay? 25-21. Okay? They gave up 19 unanswered points. Okay? It was ridiculous the way this was going. It was ridiculous the way they went from on all facets of the game. Now, listen, I'm not going to say that our offense was running amok, but they moved the ball. At this point, and I got a zipper up here. I still got my jet jacket on, so don't worry about it. I wear my colors when I do this. At this point yesterday, first quarter, you have a Davante Adams touchdown pass. You have, I can't think of the rookie's name, first touchdown. And then you have a crazy sequence. First the game starts off and they pick up 3 yards on the first play. And then they punt. Okay, so they actually netted 3 yards on 3 plays. And that was kind of par for the course going through the first quarter. And then all of a sudden, the Jets started getting things going. I know on that first drive, they went downfield on a play to Garrett Wilson. And Wilson had his man beat, and the defender made a great play, but maybe 3 years ago, Rodgers makes that ball land in a little better. I can't blame Wilson. Defender was running stride for him. Defender got his hand up there and blocked it. So they tried to stretch the field a little bit, which was good. But Davante Adams finally, he catches a touchdown pass. You have Aaron Rodgers running for a first down and sliding. Things are starting to pick up. Jets are up 14-0. And let me bring this out. They missed an extra point. So basically they were up 6-0, and then they got a 2-point conversion to make it 14. The funny thing was I had Seattle fans sitting behind me, and I figured, and Seattle fans, I actually have to say, there was a bunch of them yesterday. It wasn't just a handful like the Colts. Seattle fans, there was a lot yesterday. And he made a comment like something about you can't hit extra points or whatever it was. We'll teach you how to hit an extra point. And then we want to block in their extra point. So far in this game, you've had 2 block extra point attempts, okay? Jets are up 14-6, okay? Or 14-7 maybe they missed the extra point after that. The Jets kick off. I'm sorry, the Colts, Jesus, I'm losing my train of thought here. The Seahawks kick off after they get to 14-7, 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Rookie, place is going berserk. Okay, place is going berserk. And I could see they were coming towards us up the seam. Then he cut to his left up the far sideline, the Jet sideline. By the 2-yard line, he was grabbed. He fell forward, touchdown. 2-score lead, 21-7. Okay, or 21-6, whatever the hell it is. Okay, we kick off. They fumble the ball on the kickoff. Get the ball back. We kick off. They fumble the ball on the kickoff. Get the ball back. Okay, we're moving the ball downfield. We get into the red zone, and on first down, and it's funny, and as I'll tell you what's going on with my daughter. And there was only one daughter yesterday. It was just me and Alyssa yesterday. On first down, they run the ball, and I think it was Brees, and he picks up a few yards, and it's like 2nd and 7. And 2nd and 7 play, Garrett Wilson just does this nasty move coming out of his break. He cuts to the inside, cuts to the outside, and there's nobody in the end zone with him. He is all the way in the end zone, wide open. We're going to toss the ball, and we're going to be up by 3 scores. We're going to be up 28-7. And the ball just misses. Okay, I'm talking maybe a few inches. I'm not going to say a few feet, but a few inches. Like, all right. You know what? Let's go. Next play. Well, next play, like I said, we had Geno Smith, Leonard Williams, a former Jet and a former Giant, who in all his years ended up playing at MetLife, never had a game like he did yesterday. Rodgers sidearms a pass into the end zone. Leonard Williams, I remember Leonard Williams is a linebacker. A defensive lineman. Back in coverage, tips the ball to himself, catches it, and rumbles 99 yards the other way for a touchdown. Now, I can't put it on here, but my daughter had her camera ready to see if we were going to score. And when the ball is tipped and picked off, you actually hear us scream. And the look on my daughter's face of disbelief was just antagonizing for me. It was agony for me to see that. So instead of 28-7, okay, now it's 21-13. And this is when they missed the extra point. Like, okay. They kick off to us. Can't do anything. The special teams were abysmal for the Seahawks. Their kick returner, I believe, fumbled 2 kickoffs and a punt. Or 3 kickoffs and a punt. It was just ridiculous. And the amount of chances we had was ridiculous. Okay? It was... We should have won this game by at least 12 to 14 points. If not more. Okay? 4th quarter, okay, and we still have the lead now. It's 21-16, 4th quarter. It's getting cold. The clock is starting to run down. Like, okay, we start moving the ball. And Brees Hall breaks one. Gets through his line of scrimmage, going into a secondary, is hit and fumbles. Seattle gets the ball, and you know what? That was it. People say that Leonard Williams' play was a turning point. No, this was a turning point because they never adjusted. They never came back from that blow. They never stood back up. That was a knockout blow. But here it is. Okay, so now we're freezing. There's about 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I look at my daughter. I said, let's start making our way up. We'll see what happens. Okay? We are watching. They get the ball. They're moving the ball. They lose the ball. They're moving the ball. Back and forth. They're sacking Geno Smith. I mean, there was pressure there. Geno Smith and I'll get into him in a few minutes. Was not the game breaker yesterday. Okay, we get in the car, we get on the turnpike. Okay, now for those of you who don't know, you get on the turnpike. Okay, first of all, it took us like 10 minutes to get on the turnpike, which wasn't bad. Okay, because people at that point were still sitting there. Get on the turnpike, and the Colts have the ball. Okay, now the Colts have the ball. They're down by 2. Down by 2, yes. So what do? 4th and 6, they go for it. They're stopped. Wait a minute. Offsides defense. Okay? Gets to 4th and 1. 4th and 1. They're stopped. Oh, wait a minute. Horse collar tackle. Okay? First down. 4th down again. Pass interference. I mean, the way the defense played on that final drive, okay, 7 defensive penalties, okay? I think 3 or 4 on 4th down to continue that drive, that finally they just went down the field and they scored a touchdown. Like, I'm hoping that they kick a field goal, but every time they convert in this 4th down, they're moving the clock. It's not even that. The Jets get the ball back, okay? This is the 5th time this season that the Jets had the ball on the last possession and had a chance to win, okay? They're 0-5. They move the ball a little bit. They get downfield. They have 2 timeouts left, okay, because they had to burn one early, but okay. 2 timeouts left. You have Aaron Rodgers. You have Devontae Adams. You have Garrett Wilson. You have Breece Hall that can come out of the backfield with catching a pass. They go to 3rd down, and I forget what it was because he took a sack on the play. And the clock is running. And instead of taking a touchdown, instead of taking a timeout, okay, and even Anthony Beck and Bob Schusen on ESPN Radio said, take the timeout, compose your offense, get the play in, and go. No. And he throws an incomplete pass, and the game is over. Okay, so they're 0-5 when Aaron Rodgers has the ball in his hand with a chance to win the game. That is why we got him. Okay, so we get out of there. We're home as as the game ends. We pull in, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, all right. So we lost to Denver, which had Zach Wilson on it, but he's not even dressing for the game, so no big deal. We lost to Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, and now we lost to Geno Smith. And then, of course, you have the wise asses, the beat writers, and Gary Myers, who is a respected NFL analyst. I mean, I know he's in the game at least 30 years. I've met him. I've tweeted with him. He puts up something like, the Jets lost to Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, and Geno Smith, but hey, Rodgers threw for less than 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. And I kind of was like, but Gary, this is clickbait. Because they didn't lose to Geno Smith, and the interception, I didn't even say about Geno Smith, the interception was not Rodgers' fault. It was tipped, and he's like, well, he tipped him to himself, and you need to stop trying to protect him. By all means, am I not protecting Aaron Rodgers? By all means, I am not. Because the accountability that I thought would be on this field and in that huddle is not there. That leadership is not there, okay? He said this week this is the best he's felt. He didn't eclipse 200 yards passing. Okay? He should have had 3 or 4 touchdowns. He didn't. And again, we lost. At this point in the season now, I mean, a loss is a loss. What are you going to do? But, you go there and you have, and I'm not going to lie. When they're up, I'm like, all right, let's get this win. Hey, let's walk out of here with a win. Holiday, long weekend. Let's end this with a win. And we can't even get that. So, you know what? That's number one. And, Gary, and I said, you're better than that to call out, Rodgers like that. Because you'll be the first one to be there in Canton, with the rest of them saying how great he was, but those 2 years on the Jets. Because I don't think he'll be back for a 3rd year. Secondly, Geno Smith's trolling the Jets. And he put up a tweet and something about, after people responded to it, he's like, they gave up on me. All right, well, first of all, Geno Smith, you were drafted, what, 2013? 2012? I don't remember. 2011, 2012, okay? I can remember, okay, going to, and this is when my girls first started coming to the games. They used to go to preseason games with me. His first preseason game, okay? And the rookies took a bus. The rookies used to take a bus from Florham Park to MetLife, and then from MetLife back to Florham Park. That was the thing with a rookie. And we got there very early because my girls always like to meet the players, and they were young, so, we got there nice and early, and we were watching the player bus come in, and here comes the Brickenshaw Ferguson, or here comes this one, and all of a sudden, there's Geno Smith, and my girls are calling him, hey, Geno. Doesn't turn around, doesn't say a word. I think he may have said, oh, maybe later, whatever he said, okay? Now, it wasn't me. It wasn't Big Chooch trying to get an autograph. It was two young girls, okay? When I say young, I'm talking like probably 4th and 5th grade or 3rd and 5th grade, whatever it was. One of his own players like, oh, that's Hollywood. You're not going to get his autograph. They call him Hollywood in the locker room, okay? So fast forward a couple of years later, and Geno Smith gets humbled after getting pummeled. Okay, if everybody remembers, he got punched in the jaw over, I believe, a $600 debt that he wasn't going to cover for a fellow player, a teammate on the Jets. Okay, so now you have your starting quarterback, jaw gets broken, and that's where I believe Fitzpatrick comes into the play to be the starting quarterback. Okay? He was humbled because after that, he stopped for everybody. He wasn't Hollywood anymore. He realized he wasn't above the team. But he never really was the player that we drafted. And I said it that day, watching him drafted. He was horrible in the Pinstripe Bowl. He's not going to be that good. And you know what? He's a product of his program. Seattle, he has a good program there. He did nothing with the Giants. He did nothing really with the Jets. So to say, oh, you gave up on me, Gino, it's 11 years, 12 years, 10 years since you've been here. Leonard Williams said something like, Aaron Rodgers looks old. He hears the footsteps. He's throwing the ball a little quicker. All these guys right now are these soon-to-be Hall of Famers, chuckle, given what's wrong with Rodgers. I don't know what's wrong with Rodgers. The only one who knows what's wrong with Rodgers is probably Rodgers. Okay, but the whole team from top to bottom, okay, is not playing right, is not doing well, and they're a bad football team right now. And they're 3-9, and that shows it. So that is my rant for today. Now, where this team goes, I have no idea. Rex Ryan said something this morning, which I had a laugh because, again, I'm a fan of Rex, and I want the best coach to come in here. So, first of all, no disrespect to Aaron Glenn, I don't want a rookie head coach. Go get go make your bones on another team, then come to us. That's fine. But Rex said something this morning like, the season cannot come to an end quick enough for the Jets because of all the negativity surrounding it. You put on the TV, negativity. Go on the internet, negativity. You feel it in the locker room with the questions, negativity. So, as a player, you want this to end as quickly as possible. You're going out there, and yes, you're making a lot of money, okay, but you're putting your body at risk for a team that's not going anyplace. Now, yes, you are paid to do that. You are paid handsomely to do that, and that is your commitment to the team, and that shows throughout your career. But right now, if you're the Jets, you want to be out there freezing your ass off again? I don't think so. Hey, good for the Seahawks. They won a game they were supposed to win. They should have been winning 21-7 in the first quarter, the first half. Okay, the Jets didn't score a point in the second half. Okay, it's ridiculous what this team goes through, the ups and downs. It's just crazy. They're talking about GM, they're talking about coach. I don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to do, who they're going to hire. Listen, as a Jet fan, I want them to do well. I want to see them win. My girls want to see them win. I'll still say this. The two most agonizing losses I've ever witnessed with my girls, okay, was last year. Well, not even a loss. Last year when Rodgers got hurt, the face that they showed, the disappointment on their face, okay, was something I never wanted to see. And it's, and I say, well, I brought them in to be Jet fans. And then yesterday with my daughter Alyssa, when they tipped that ball, and went down the field, and then even last week against the Colts, when they kept saying, if you get in the field goal range, you win, and Rodgers gets spun around, he throws the ball behind him. Think about it. Think about the last drives. It's all been on Rodgers. And yes, I believe he blamed Mike Williams, the red line, the Minnesota game, the Buffalo game. But when has he stepped up? If Mike Williams was the issue, why didn't he throw to somebody else? Okay? Coach Ulbrich, I loved you as a defensive coach. I thought you held your own with Saleh. You are not a head coach right now. Okay, you are in over your head. To me, you're almost like, and I'm not trying to put Ulbrich down because I think right now he's a great defensive coach, and I think he might have a head coaching position in his future, but this really spoils his chances in the near future. But he is almost like, the guy who runs the restaurant, or runs the convenience store, telling his new hire, hey, listen, I need you to watch the cash, the cash register. Oh, while you're doing that, I need you to do the accounting, do the payroll, do the books, do the purchasing, do the inventory. And you know what? I don't want to see a penny missing. He just has too many responsibilities for a coach that has never taken on this responsibility. Nate Hackett has to go. Okay? He was brought here to appease Aaron Rodgers, to make Aaron Rodgers comfortable. Cobb, Lazar, Adams. And you know what? We have one win with Adams here. Okay? We have one win with Lazar playing, or 2 wins with Lazar playing. Cobb, I don't think ever saw the field. He didn't see the field this year. I don't know what he did last year. Okay? Listen, when I first heard about this 2 years ago, 2 Decembers ago, okay, when we were watching them play, and my cousin Mikey said Aaron Rodgers next year on the Jets, and I'm like, no, I don't like his views on things. And I made it personal. I made it political, and I shouldn't have. I should have looked at it as, like I always say, the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back or the person in the spotlight. He came here. Listen, I drank the Kool-Aid. I did. I really thought he'd be the difference. When he got hurt last year, I said, if Zach Wilson could put together 7 wins, beat the Eagles at MetLife, beat Buffalo on opening night when you come in off the bench, not, 4 plays in, not even an inkling that you're going to be close to starting. I said, then Aaron's got to give us at least minimum 3 to 4 wins, if not 5 to 6. And you're going from 7-8 or 7-9 to 10-6, 12-4, 12-5, 13-3, 13-4. And we're not even close. We won't have double-digit wins. We won't have a winning record. The best we could end up with now is 8-9, and that's if you win out. And you still have Buffalo again. You still have Miami twice. We have the Rams. We have Jacksonville, really came down to earth too. But it has been miserable. Last year, okay, I ran into an old family friend who's a Jet fan, and we were at an event together that I was working, and he said, "You're ready for the Super Bowl this week?" It was a week before the Super Bowl. And I said, I have no desire to watch the Super Bowl because my expectations were so high last year that I had no desire. But I thought about it. I was like, you know what? You can't have that high expectations with him coming to a new team. Give him a year or two to cumulate and get gelled with this team. So this year, I'm thinking, okay, they trade for Hassan Reddick, which was another story. Okay? They have another year with Garrett getting his experience on the field with Lazar, with Mike Williams, with Curley, with everybody. And then what happens? Nothing. No gelling, no success. It's just been, the expectations, yes, were high. And I think that's part of the problem, but I never expected to be disappointed. If you would have told me we would have equaled Zach Wilson's win record of last year, which we still could, if we win 7 out of the next, if we win 4 out of the next 5, okay, I'd say, all right, listen, he's all that happens. To tell me that we're going to have to scrimp and fight for every inch to get to those 7 wins or 8 wins, I never would have thought it, and that's a disappointment, where the expectations were so high, and they didn't even come close. You tell me we get into the wild card and we lose on a dumb play. You know what? We got into the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. We finally got a winning record after 9 seasons. You tell me we get to, and I'll never forget this, the AFC Championship game, like in 2009, and we're leading at the half, I'd say, I'll take it, let's go, we have a chance. we're not even going to sniff the playoffs. And that's what hurts. That's what's disappointing. But anyway, I'm back home. 25-minute walk. It is freezing out here, so I'm going to warm up. Again, you are watching The Takeoff. My name is Alex. Listen, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. You know, text me, email me, thejetstakeoff@gmail.com. Twitter, @thejetstakeoff is our Twitter handle. Follow us, subscribe to this video. The Takeoff is the YouTube channel. You're following it right now, you're watching it right now, @thejetstakeoff. I'm sorry, the YouTube account is The Takeoff. The YouTube channel is @thejetstakeoff. We'd love to hear from you. Were you there yesterday? I ran into a few friends yesterday. You know, and that's the one thing, we're family. It was a day out with my girl yesterday. 2 weeks ago was my day out with my girls throughout the season. You know, next week we'll be home watching the game, watching them play Miami. But it is what it is. You know, another season that we're not going to make the playoffs. And Derek Jeter, I think I said this in my video last week. Derek Jeter was being interviewed, and he said something like, losing and not winning the championship is the worst feeling, because they say, get them next year. He goes, it's the worst saying in the world, get them next year. That's 12 months till we get back to where we are. We'll see where we are in probably 2.5 months without coaching a GM. 3 months, you know, to the season, the new calendar opens up. 5 months to mini camp, you know, or, you know, voluntary, you know, camp. The draft, the schedule comes out, where our QB is going to be or who our QB is going to be. So we shall see. Have a great rest of your week. Have a blessed week, however you say it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk soon.